Welcome back to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. Today we're going to talk about a quote that means a lot to me because I've gone through it several times in my life, but it is the temptation to quit. We're going to talk about the temptation to quit and what that means and how you can overcome that, because I'm sure all of you that are listening have had the temptation to quit, whether that's your job, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a workout, whatever that means to you, right? We've all had those moments of, I won't call it weakness, but moments of low points where we're either questioning ourselves, we're doubting ourselves, and we're really wondering if the easy route will be just to quit. So this quote, I saw it last year, right around the time that I became the CEO of Burn Boot Camp. And it was, the temptation to quit will always be greatest just before you succeed. The temptation to quit will always be greatest just before you succeed. And I remember reading that and thinking, wow, that is really what I needed to hear, because there is a lot of temptation right now to quit. I don't feel equipped to be the CEO. There was a lot of challenges coming my way. I wasn't really sure if I was doing a good job. There was just a lot of change, some uncertainty. And I thought to myself, man, what did I get myself into? Like, maybe Burn Boot Camp needs a different CEO. And so again, like a couple of days later, I saw that quote and I remember thinking, wow, I needed to hear that, because that means there's a breakthrough on the other side of this challenge. And I think that's what the quote really means is, right before you're about to experience this breakthrough or success or completion or just a different fulfillment level or self-confidence level, you're going to have a lot of doubt, and you're going to have really the enemy attacking to say, you don't deserve this. You are going to stop. You're not strong enough for this. And then what happens is you do complete something and you do gain that self-confidence. And then your belief is different and your mindset is different. And that happens over and over and over again. Like, it happens in small ways in my life and big ways. And so that's a quote that I always remember when things are getting hard, whether that's in my job or that's in my relationships or even in my workout, you guys. And I love comparing this quote in your workout and really to life. And this is what I love about Burn Boot Camp is what we're doing inside of the gym. It really does transcend fitness, and it helps us in other areas of our life. So how many of you out there have been going into a workout, right? And let's say you're down doing mountain climbers and your trainer's like, all right, you got 10 more seconds. It's like, you really want to stop. You really want to quit in like those last 10 seconds. But your trainer's like, don't stop. You stop, the clock stops. That's like a classic trainer line. You stop, the clock stops, and you keep going and you do those 10 seconds. And then on the other side of that, it's this feeling of, okay, I did it. I accomplished it. My mind told me that I wanted to quit, but I didn't let my body quit. And you build those little itty bitty confidence, feelings of confidence in your workout, during your finisher or whatever the case may be. But how many of you have had the temptation to quit in your workout or not even go to your workout? And then when you're done with it, how do you feel? Right? Or the temptation to quit, maybe learning a new skill, okay? Or being in a new job or a new role in your career. How many of you thought, oh my God, I shouldn't have taken this promotion. I'm overwhelmed. What did I sign myself up for? How am I going to do this all? How am I going to juggle this new job and managing people and my kids and my husband and all the things, right? All the things add up in our head. As each day goes by and you get through your day and you start to gain your confidence and you do it again and again and again, you start to see that success and you start to build that confidence. And so remember that quote in the next time that you're feeling like you want to quit, whether that's in a small way or in a big way. There is success on the other side of that. There is resilience on the other side of that. There's more confidence in yourself on the other side of that temptation to quit. So, I want to talk about journeys and just the ups and downs. And I want to be very honest. Sometimes people may think that it's all sunshine and rainbows, owning a business or being the CEO of Burn or, all the things that sometimes social media doesn't depict in people's lives. But there are ups and downs in my life. There are ups and downs in your life, I'm sure. And that is completely normal, you guys. That's where we have to kind of teach ourselves to stay disciplined enough to not get too high in the highs and too low in the lows. And that's something that has stuck with me as well over time. It's actually something that Devin taught me a little bit in his journey with sports is, I can have a really good game pitching But I can't get too high on that. I can't get too confident that I had a really good game and the next game is going to be good, because he's like, the next game could be my worst game and I could pitch really, really terrible and everybody in the crowd is booing me. But I can't also let that drag me down too low. So I have learned that although life has these ups and downs, like to kind of stay consistent during the whole thing, because you know that you might be in a valley right now. I want you to know that you're going to get out of that valley. You're going to find yourself at a mountaintop at one point, and celebrate that for sure. Like celebrate those little things of when you are in those high moments and when you're feeling good. But because that's what you're going to use to carry you through the low points in your life. And that's another thing that this whole temptation to quit thing is, if you really embrace some of those feelings, again, this is going to motivate you and fuel you to, when you find that success and you feel that success, you kind of can take that to keep carrying you forward. But highs and lows happen. Highs and lows are in my life, as marriage wise, business wise, parenting. Like some days are good and some days are not so good, but I don't let that get me down or up too much. I just let that kind of motivate me and remind me of what can be, right? What can be if I just walk through the challenge and I actually get through the feelings that I'm having. I don't push them to the side. I don't brush them under the rug. Like when you're feeling a low, you need to feel the low, right? And you need to make sure you're working through that. But then when you do get to that point, that's going to help you remember those feelings, because that's what you're going to chase when you're in all those different moments. So listen, what do you do when you're feeling the temptation? I want to talk a little bit about that. Surrounding yourself with good people is a superpower that you can have, because when you're feeling any doubt in your mind, and let's say you share that doubt with a friend, family member, coworker, and their first reaction is to kind of agree with you or like take advantage of the fact that you're feeling low, instead of like being like, no, you're not going to think that. You're not going to say that about yourself. You were made for this job. You were made for this, promotion. You were made to do this. You can get through those last 10 seconds, instead of saying, yeah, let's stop early. Let's quit. Let's quit. If you've got friends that are kind of joining the ride of that misery, they're not the right people for you. Okay. I just want to be real honest. Like they might be fun to hang out with, but you need people in your life that when you're feeling low, you have temptation to quit, you need someone that is going to look at you and believe everything that you have and believe everything and more that you're capable of doing. So that is what's helped me in moments of weakness is, number one, I'm really honest when I'm feeling that way. I'm not blasting it on social media, but I'm very honest with my really good friends or my family or Devin, my husband, and sharing like how I'm feeling, if whether that's just lack of confidence or, just feeling like I'm in a slump. Like I lean on my friends during that time. I lean on my support system to help me, because I've built a really good support system where I know if I'm feeling that way, they're not going to let me stay down for too long, right? They're going to make sure they're pulling me up, and we do the same for each other, right? It's vice versa. It's a give and take situation. And so the best way you can find those people is to be those people for other people. And so surrounding yourself with a positive community. Self-belief, number two. When you're feeling temptation to quit, it's really hard to have some self-belief. And so for me, I go back to quotes or stories that I like to hear about other people doing hard things, other entrepreneurs, other females, other moms that are doing things that I know if they can do it, okay, I can do it. I can see that belief in them. And I really want to transfer some of that energy into me. So self-belief, though, comes with, number one, what are you letting come into your brain? So that includes those people that I talked about, that community that you surround yourself with. But self-belief is a lot of the things that you're allowing into your brain, right? What are you watching? What are you consuming? What are you reading? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it getting closer to your goal? Or is it taking you away from that confidence and that goal that you have? And so, self-belief is something to constantly be working on, whether that's in the low season or in the high season, because that's what's going to carry you through those ups and downs that we talked about. And so one tactic for me, if I'm feeling like overwhelmed at work or overwhelmed at home, those are probably the two biggest examples for me, is like is this going to matter in 5 months? Like, I think there's a quote that's like, if it's not going to matter in 5 years or all the things, I'm like, is it even going to matter in 5 months? Because if I go back 5 months from today that I'm talking on this podcast, I can't even tell you the things that were stressing me out. I don't have recollection of them. So that means they probably weren't that significant. They were in the moment, and I don't want to discredit that. But framing your reference a little bit helps you to kind of calm your nerves down, calm your anxiety down, calm what you've got talking up in your head of how bad things are in the moment. Ask yourself, is this going to matter in 5 months? If the answer is yes, then you have a very valid reason to, feel what you're feeling, and you got to work through that. But sometimes when I ask myself that question, I'm like, no, it's not going to matter in 5 months. So that helps me kind of move past it much quicker to know that, yes, this is a hard moment right now, but this is not going to be something that impacts the rest of my life or even the next year of my life. So those are two strategies: is self-belief and surrounding yourself with positive people. Those are the things that are going to help you get through that temptation to quit. But I want to talk a little bit about, celebrating the small victories. So again, even if this is related to your workout, it's so important that we celebrate small things. I love the term non-scale victories, things that you don't necessarily see in a mirror or on a scale or on a tape measure around your waist. Like, it's things that you're doing that you never thought you could do, right? So celebrating your double unders, celebrating your push-ups on your toes, celebrating your box jumps, celebrating going up in weights, celebrating getting to camp maybe 4 days a week, 5 days a week, something that you just have never done. Those are very, very, very important to celebrate, because those are those moments that, again, you're going to snap back to when you're in a low season or you're in a temptation to quit. You're going to say, what have I done before? Have I done this before? It's going to help build that self-confidence, but you got to acknowledge it. You got to acknowledge those little victories, because failures are going to come in your life. Low seasons are going to come in your life. Those moments, those times that you got over something that was really hard are going to be that reminder that you can get through another hard thing. So that's another strategy, is like celebrating the small things. Don't let it go under unnoticed, really. And that's, again, why it's so important to be surrounded by the right people. So when you do want to celebrate those small things, you have people there that are cheering for you, that are clapping for you, and that want to see you win. So that's what I have today, guys, on the temptation to quit. Please know that this is a completely normal feeling. I feel it too. I feel it in big ways. I've felt it in really big ways when it came down to my job as CEO. But, now here I am a year later or so, just sitting in a seat that I feel fully confident in. There's still challenges that come my way. There's still times of doubt that come my way. But again, I have the belief in myself. I have the confidence in myself. I've surrounded myself with the right people. When I start to feel those moments, I snap into the confidence and the success. So thank you guys for listening. I hope that you take some time after this episode to reflect on your journey of ups and downs and the moments that you felt the temptation to quit, and just remind yourself how you got through those moments and you didn't quit. And I want you to remind yourself that you can do that again and again and again and again. So thanks again for joining us, guys. If you have any questions or you want any podcast topics, please reach out to us, podcast@burnbootcamp.com, for anything you want to hear. Please share, leave a review. That is the best love language that we have here on our podcast at Burn Boot Camp. But again, as always, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys soon. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.